Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to come on here and say thank you for all the love you've shown on my new song, Yarbrough, the dedication to my father. Today, I want to kind of break down some of that song and a little bit of the lyrics behind it and how I was able to create it. So I got FL pulled up and let's go ahead and get into it. So, starting off, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I have a couple friends that make beats, a couple people that I know, but for the most part, I usually go online. It's kind of a mixed bag. It'll be BeatStars, YouTube, something like that. And that's kind of where I get my resources for beats. I do a lot of beat shopping and then I'll just write to them. And then if I decide to make it into a song, I'll record it and then you'll hear it on a streaming platform. So this song right here is of course near and dear to my heart. It started out with this beat, which I found online. Let's see if I can. Here we go. And it's pretty much the same all the way through, which is good because when I was picking a beat, I was like, I want something that's soft, something that is going to allow my vocals and my lyrics to kind of cut through because I just didn't want the beat to override the whole entire vibe of the song. I wanted to be the one creating the vibe alongside the beat. I didn't want the beat to just take over. So we got that. And in the beginning, you hear a man's voice that is my dad, the late Mr. Yarbrough. And he is talking for a good bit. So people have asked me, "Hey, where did you get this audio clip from? Like, how were you able to make him make him talk?" So I think it was around 2020 after COVID. That following school year, they had like a meet the teacher, but it was virtual. Maybe it was 2021. I don't know. It was in that time frame, and I recorded a back to school thing for him for YouTube. That way he could post it and kids could see it online. Like, hey, I'm Mr. Yarbrough, I'm your teacher. So this is what it sounds like without the beat.
My name is Mr. Yarbrough. Here's my wife, Alicia.
And so I actually have the clip pulled up from my YouTube. So here it is.
Time really does fly when you're having fun. My name is Mr. Yarbrough, and I'm going to be your sixth grade math teacher this year. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I graduated.
So yeah, there's that, and I just kind of pulled the pieces out of the song. So like the my name is Mr. Yarbrough, and then when he's talking about my mom, and then my brother, and then me, I pulled all those out of there and was able to make it fit into here and make it sound a little bit more natural. So without the effects on there, it doesn't, of course, ring out over the beat. So I added a couple things like low pass, EQ sweep, so I could boost up the audio a little bit, the treble specifically, and then like I added a limiter and then a de-esser and then also reverb and a delay just to give it a little bit of extra sauce and like I said make it ring out over the beats. So
I also have two sons. My oldest son is Joshua. My youngest son is Joseph. Did I mention my son Joseph?
so yeah, there is that. That's the beginning of it. That's where that came from, and it's amazing that I was able to get that. I I wanted to be able to have him on the song, and I felt like that was the best way to do it. So I'm really happy at how that turned out. So then, of course, you got my tag right here. Let's see.
It's your boy Joseph on the track. Let's go.
So if you've heard any of my recent music, I use the same tag now. I never realized that rappers were using like I was like, how do they always get it to sound the same? And then I was like, oh, you just record one and then you can stretch it to the beat. So like, let's say if this was a different BPM, I would just import it from my files and then I drag it in here and then I just like adjust it to um, the tempo of the song. So that's why if you hear any of my songs now, it's all the same tag. I stopped doing the new tag every song. I was like, man, I'm tired of doing that. But here is the rest of it, and I kind of want to get into the lyrics now. So I'm gonna let a little bit of it play. I'll stop it, and then we'll go into a little bit of the lyrics. So here we go.
Yeah, Father Time. Can you take me back to the L when I was just a little kid and I was happy as hell and have to take care of myself cause mom and dad did it well and they was always there for me when I slipped up and I fell. I still remember the house that I grew up in on Teresa Street. Me, my mom and dad and brother filled it up with memories. Grown a lot since then but reminisce on all the little things. Now my father's gone, the house feel empty and it's bittersweet.
All right, so the beginning of that verse, of course, I'm like, Dear Father Time, can you take me back to the L? For those of you who don't know, my hometown is Lindell, Texas. It's close to Tyler, Texas, which is all about an hour and a half, 2 hours east of Dallas. And yeah, I visit quite often still to go see my mom. And I, every time I'm back, I'm just like, it's weird because I, I've grown away from that place, but at the same time, I understand that that's like where I come from. That's my home base. Like, so it's always gonna East Texas is always gonna have a special place in my heart, and I love meeting people from East Texas and learning about their experiences too. So, um, yeah, and also where I was talking about when I was just a little kid and I was happy as hell, and I'd have to take care of myself because mom and dad did it well. Well, I did have a lot of friends that were having to do a lot for themselves, and I'm just so thankful every day that I lived a childhood where not only my dad but my mom too both did so much in my life and helped me to succeed and become the man that I am today. Because without them, I would not be where I am or who I am today, and I'm just forever grateful for them for that. So that's where that all kind of comes from. I wanted to start it off like take me back, like take me back to the days when it was all good and nothing was bad. So that's why I wanted to start out with that. Can you take me back to the L when I was just a little kid and I was happy as hell? So let's go ahead and get into the rest of
This
it.
past year, but nothing short of a challenge. So many changes in my life, it's hard believing it happened. Readjust, realign, that's all I'm trying to manage. Take some time to self-reflect and try to cope with the damage. Cause I'll be honest, I was feeling hopeless and broken. Drinking liquor and smoking heavy to calm my emotions.
And the rest of this verse, I mean, it's kind of just true. I was there with my dad and my mom and in family with him. So it's just just writing about really the real experience, and not much more needs to really be said about it. It's kind of what it is, and yeah. So I did want to take a second though and let y'all kind of hear my vocal without the beat on there. So
I was feeling hopeless and broken, drinking liquor and smoking heavy to calm my emotions. Doctor said they couldn't do nothing, sent me to a psychosis. Cried so many fucking tears that I could fill up an ocean. Yeah.
So a couple things there. Typically on my vocals, especially if I'm rapping and not really singing, I'll usually use
I lay
I usually use just standard stuff, EQ sweep. Then I do a high pass, low pass, all that kind of stuff, de-esser, limiter, and then the reverb and delay. Because people don't realize, but even just the tad bit of delay, like you don't want to overdo it, but it helps you just sound like more full, and it also kind of just adds extra sauce. Like it makes your vocal not sound so flat and bare. So I can play you actually without any effects. So this is what my voice sounded like just recording it.
I was feeling hopeless and broken, drinking liquor and smoking heavy to calm my emotions. Doctor said they couldn't do nothing, sent me to a psychosis. Cried so many fucking tears that I could fill up an ocean. Yeah.
So yeah, it sounds all right, but it's still not it's still not great. So that's why I always kind of put a lot of effects on my vocals, not too much to where it's overbearing and it sounds too processed, but I just want people to like be able to hear me clearly over the beat and make out what I'm saying. So let's get into the hook of the beat.
I lay awake and wish that you were still with me. Yeah. Look to the sky and I ask God, did he hear me? God, can you hear me? I never fathom losing someone so dearly, but I keep you in my heart, so I know that you with me. I lay awake and wish that you were still with me.
Another thing to mention is this is the hook right here, and then these are the ad libs. So if I take this out, you can.
God, can you hear me? I used to wake up late nights, chilling in the living room, waiting on my dad because I knew that he was coming soon. Worked the 9 to 5 and then went picking up on extra shifts, waiting tables at the hotel, cashing out on hella tips. And we ain't need it, but he never stopped chasing the bag. He wanted me and Josh to have what he never did have. Fresh school clothes, Xbox 360. Gave me that 300 and I drove it like a Bentley.
All right, so man, the second verse is my favorite. I just wanted to get straight into it and not really keep y'all waiting. So I when I was writing this verse, I just was thinking about like those times, we'd be waking up 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday because my parents would both go out to the hotel. At first, it was just my dad, but then he convinced my mom to get on. They're working as well, and they were working like in the restaurant part of the hotel. It was a Holiday Inn, and yeah, he would wait tables and stuff like that. And as a kid, I just was like, "Oh, this is cool. Like, we get to go stay at Aunt so and so's house, or we get to go stay with our cousins for the day." But I never really realized, especially until recently, that like that was something that he didn't have to do. They didn't have to do that, but they wanted me and Josh to have a good childhood. And one thing that always stuck with me that my dad told me was, I just want you and your brother to have the childhood that I never had. And that really speaks volumes about not just a man, but just any parent, anybody in general, that you want your kids to have the best. Like, you're so selfless, and that's really a good way to describe my dad. He was always so giving, and just, man, just everybody always had good things to say about him. But I remember every year for the summer when we were on summer break, he was a teacher. My mom worked in the school system as well, so we're at home, they get to be at home too. So we all got to spend the summers together, and we'd always go out of town on vacations. It just, man, just we were always doing something. We were always traveling, and it just felt, it's so nice looking back on those times because he was doing all that extra work so we would have, the ability to go do that kind of stuff. And man, it's so great thinking back to it now. It just brings a smile to my face because he really didn't have to be such a hard worker, but he just was. And my mom said that's how he's always been, and I think that I really get that from him. So, and then the end part where I say, gave me that 300 and I drove it like a Bentley. That was actually my first vehicle. It was my mom's car, but then she got a new car, and then I was able to drive at that same time. So we talked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, like we'll just give you the Chrysler." And I was like, "Hey." Heck yeah. So I was rolling. I think it had like 120, 116,000 miles on it when I got it. Man, I drove that thing until I couldn't ride no more. And man, I loved that car. I had a sound system in it. I even talked to my dad about putting some 22s on it. And yeah, man, it's just really made me reminisce on those days of just like just having a parent that would be willing to like give you a car, like no car payment, nothing. You ain't gotta worry about it. Just put gas in it and you're good. So yeah.
We miss you, man, and that's just real. I'ma keep it a stack. If I had the Dragon Balls, I'd be bringing you back. And every day I wish that heaven had it in your chat. Because it's hard down here on earth without hearing you laugh. I promise to your mama never go face any harm. I keep your name alive forever. I tatted my arm. And even though you may be gone in the physical form, I know you're looking out for me when my blood is still warm. Yeah, I know you're looking out for, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the song right there. In the last part of that verse, whether you believe in a heaven, um, whatever form of afterlife you believe in, it's hard for me to not believe that our ancestors, our relatives that have gone on before us, that they're not looking out, over our shoulder every day, that they're not in some way protecting us, guiding us. I don't know. You can be the judge of that, but it really makes me feel like he's still here because he instilled so much knowledge and so much wisdom in me and my brother that it's like I carry that on, and I really feel like every day he's with me. So um yeah, that's why I wanted to put that there, that even though he's not here physically, he's still looking out for me in some capacity. So yeah, and I said in there that I tatted my arm and mom will face no harm, because me and my brother, man, we do everything we can to make sure our mom is straight. Going back, visiting with her, helping get stuff done around the house. You know, anything that she needs, I'm just like, hey, you hit me up and let me know, and I'll try to make it happen, and I'll come that way. So and I also got a tattoo, dedication tattoo my cousin did for me a little bit after he passed. and it has pool balls on it because he used to love to play pool. So I decided to get that, and yeah, yeah. So that's kind of the end of that. But yeah, this is Yarbrough. This is the whole song. I really don't remember how long it took me to record it, but I don't think it was super duper long. So yeah, thank y'all again for hanging out with me. If you stuck around the whole video, be sure to go check out the song Yarbrough. You can stream it on all platforms if you haven't already. Here's my link tree right here. You can see this will take you to all the streaming services that you use. I also got those down here. You can also visit my Instagram, my TikTok. Here's my Instagram right here, Joseph on the track, and that's Joseph on the TRK. And yeah, check out my other stuff. I got plenty more coming. I got plenty more already out, and I really appreciate all the love and support that I've gotten on this song. And I really hope that y'all find another song on my discography that y'all like, or hopefully I'll release something soon that you really rock with. So yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.